All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. All right, somewhere in the United States or around the world, they're playing Carry On Wayward Son by Kansas right now. Do you know why that is? Because that's the only song they play by Kansas. So, no, I know. They'll play Dust in the Wind every now and then, but I think the focus testers are a little scared of that because it's a bit depressing. Anyway, Dust in the Wind, we're just Dust in the Wind. You know, some YouTuber is going to come along, one of these YouTube stars with, a million subscribers, and they're going to say, this song by Kansas, Hold On, Baby, Hold On, this should have been a big hit. I'm gonna be like, shut up. Fight fire with fire, baby. Try that one on for size. Top 10 over on rock radio. John Elefante is your singer too. And different sound for the band. Big video on MTV too. And when is the last time you heard that on the radio anywhere? Bueller? No. All right. So, there's a lot to be said about the music industry and how they've, narrowed their playlist down a bit. And, there's not much really that you can do about it. You can make your own playlist over on Spotify. And a lot of people do that. And people are more creative than the programming gurus over at the iHeartRadio Megaplex, wherever that's located. Just doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Speaking of that, speaking of insanity, apparently Richie Sambora is maybe talking with Jon Bon Jovi about maybe reuniting for a concert over in the UK, Glastonbury, which would be a prestigious event. Sambora was talking to a publication over in the UK called The Metro. Sounds like, do you read The Metro? Oh, well, I read it too. It's just great. I love The Metro. Anyway, they asked Sambora, hey, what do you think of this? This would be a really high profile event. It is the UK's premier big time concert festival, Glastonbury. And Sambora said, it's a possibility. Holy crap, Batman, seriously? Now, look, the elephant in the room here is John's ability to sing. And again, people have said to me, take it easy on John. He probably burnt himself out. The whole trying to maintain your vocal skills for long periods of time, that tends to be really good DNA or luck. Could be a number of factors. So, coming down hard on the guy for not being able to do what he once did. And in the case of John, it's pretty drastic. It's a pretty sharp decline from, 30 years ago and, the way you remember Jon Bon Jovi. But anyway, let's get back to Sambora, because it'd be cool for these guys to get back together again like two old buddies. I know there's a lot that's been said between these two guys. John said something like, hey, Richie really needs to get his life together. And that's not really helpful in getting the band back together again. However, again, Sambora says we're talking a bit, meaning he and John are talking. And then he apparently just smiled in a cheeky way. That's British, the British for you. It's a cheeky smile. He gave a cheeky smile. So you know what that means? That means it's on. It's game on for a big Bon Jovi reunion. It's going to happen. Anyway, they go on to say Bon Jovi is one of the few massive rock bands that have never headlined Glastonbury, though Sambora appeared there in 2014, joining Dolly Parton on stage for her set. So look, for those of you who are doubting Dolly Parton's rock and roll street cred Richie Sambora and Dolly Parton sitting in a tree. I mean, there you go. That's all you need to be. And Dolly is recording a rock album. Maybe she should call Richie. Richie can sing. You know, I'm not trying to throw this back at John. Richie can still sing, but as we know, he wasn't really the lead singer, just kind of not the lead singer in Bon Jovi. Every so often he got like a little scrap that fell off the table, but anyway, it would be cool to see these guys hanging out and doing a show together. And John needs Richie. Actually, John needs Richie more than Richie needs John, the way I look at it. And it would be a great reunion for these two guys that are very much like, you know, compare them to Glenn Frey and Don Henley, you know, Lennon and McCartney. I mean, you got to have, you know, John and Richie. I mean, that's just the way things go if you like John Bon Jovi. And if it doesn't work out, my friend Johnny Gioeli, Johnny G, the lead singer of Hardline, he could do this. He's got this. So, you know, if they need somebody maybe behind the curtain, behind the stage, and or they take a Johnny G vocal track and they just drop it in there, be great harmony vocals, right? You have Johnny G and Bon Jovi. It's very confusing because it's Johnny Gioeli and Bon Jovi, John Bon Jovi and Johnny Gioeli. See, this is hard to do. You shouldn't do this. Don't try this at home. What I'm doing right now, don't even do it. But yeah, I would pay to see. You know, I told Johnny G, I said, hey, you should call Richie Sambora. The very least you guys could do an amazing tribute to Bon Jovi. You could just knock it out of the park if the Hardline thing doesn't work out and all these other projects that Johnny Gioeli is involved in. He's a busy guy. He's kind of like the Dean Castronovo of singing, whereas Dean is not only a singer, but a drummer. They're both really busy putting out a whole bunch of material that, I don't know, only the European audience really likes to listen to it, or maybe people over in Asia, maybe Japan, you know, Japanese imports. You hear that all the time. You get the Japanese import of the new Hardline album because it's out of print in a week. So yeah, this is good news if you're a Bon Jovi fan. And of course, we want to give John a rest so he doesn't have to just do all of the singing. You know, I can't really be too hypercritical. It's just the problem is when people go out there and they almost pretend that they're fine. What? You notice something different? What did you hear? Did I not sound good? I guess you're not supposed to notice. But if you're going to pay, here's my other theory here, or my other concern. If you're going to pay $200 for a nosebleed seat, the show should sound good, meaning the vocals should be good. And for some of you consuming large quantities of adult beverages, maybe a vocal track would ease the pain a little bit, in addition to the large quantity of adult beverages. So yeah, I'm hoping this is true because it would be cool. I'm a fan. I met both of those guys back in 1990, and they were really nice. So I'm hoping that they get back together again, get the band back together again, maybe put out one or two new songs, try to make it sound like, you know, the early 90s or the late 80s Bon Jovi rather than this new hip, like I'm trying to be on adult contemporary radio in the year 2020 or whatever year the last album came out. It doesn't work, guys. It doesn't work. Be yourselves. Be the band you used to be. And I think people will gravitate toward that. Anyway, that's my video. Don't forget about Satin. Did I tell you about Satin yet? No, I'm losing it. Satin has a new album out called Appetition, and it is amazing. And I'm going to put a link in the description of this video so you can go to the RMO Real Music Reviews in Real Time blog and read about this great melodic rock artist from, where is he from? Somewhere in the Scandinavian world. All right. That's all you need to know. I think his real name is like Bob or Tom or Tim, but he goes by Satin. And believe me, this album will blow your mind. It is that good. One great song after another. And anyway, I reviewed it, and you can check out the review. For the rest of you folks who aren't concerned about the new stuff, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I need subs. And if I can get a few subscribers, life is better. Also, Patreon, if you want to help the channel financially, $1 a month is very much appreciated. If you want to do $2, or, say you're an oligarch and you live in Ukraine, right? And you're thinking, I can give like $200,000 a month. And you could. Some of that money, by the way, is like it would be coming back to me because, we send our tax dollars over there. So they would send it back, and then I would benefit. And then, I could live very lavishly like an oligarch. So it would be cool. I don't think it's going to happen, but who knows, right? Oh, man, I'll get this email. A rich Saudi prince has left you $2 million. Click on this link for more details. Yeah, not so much, folks. All right. Thanks for watching. See you soon.